And with that, good morning, Internet. How you doing?
Morning, Jason. How are you?
I'm doing well. As you may have not noticed.
Not yet, especially because the cameras haven't probably gone all the way around yet.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But you're also right, as they may have not noticed.
We are down one nerd today.
We have a nerd down.
Nerd down.
Nerd down.
He might call in. Maybe. Possibly. We're not 100% on that yet. But
I'm
if he
not.
does,
I'm not banking on that.
No.
I'm not banking on him calling in.
Unfortunately, we can't say what's wrong with him, but
his insides have revolted.
Yes.
As far as things have gone.
Yeah,
for
things
him.
have not gone well.
No, his insides
he's
have
fine.
revolted.
You can save all your thoughts and prayers.
He would.
Which offends
It doesn't.
Sean.
It doesn't offend me. It's just so futile. You know, the whole.
But life is futile and meaningless, Sean.
The normal just thoughts and prayers. When people type, it's like, come up with something original. I appreciate originality, and I understand and I respect thoughts and prayers. But originality's good. Like, say, hey, nothing I can say makes a difference, but I feel sorry for you, and I hope you feel better soon. You know what I mean? Like, that's honest.
Not that we would ever say that to Ray.
No, because I don't. I hope
this is entirely deserved.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, maybe not entirely deserved, but certainly deserved.
Largely deserved.
Yeah, there's a bit of retribution coming one way or the other. So yeah.
A little Schadenfreude.
Bless you.
Yes. Anyway.
But the rest of us are good. Jason?
Yeah, we're good. I'm happy.
Yeah?
I'm good.
You doing well?
Yeah. I'm on my second bottle of water here.
I'm only on my first beer.
Well, then you got to catch up.
I know.
Anyway. So, it's been a really busy 2 weeks since we've met.
It has been a very busy 2 weeks.
Both in the real world and in the world of us nerdians.
The imaginary world?
The imaginary world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The world of stuff that doesn't matter, which is what we talk about. It
matters to some people. It matters to us a little bit.
A little bit. But, let's face it, whether or not Spider-Man's part of the MCU does not determine the fate of our existence.
I beg to differ, sir. I think it does. I do. I think it makes a very big difference. It's going to keep a lot of people happy. And who knows, those people, if they're not happy, may revolt. They might storm Area 51.
This is what actually causes the Civil War.
This could be what leads us into the full Mad Maxian world before we get to Star Trek.
Gotcha.
Now maybe that's good. Maybe that's a nice thing.
Right,
maybe
that's something that needs to happen.
Maybe maybe it needs to happen. Maybe that is how it needs to go. We need to kick this thing into overdrive and start fighting over gas. And then eventually we can go on to the Star Trekian world and explore the stars in peace as one race, as many races together.
Sort of like one big, just last throwdown just to do it.
Maybe, yeah.
Sort of like
who knows?
Like when you're getting ready to go on a diet, you go eat that whole pizza and.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fold that bad boy up like a taco and just start mowing down. That's
Gotcha.
right. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'm not gonna be a part of any of that. I'm gonna be sitting in the dark eating Cheetos, being waiting for it to blow over. That's right.
I gotcha.
That's right. I'm not gonna participate in it.
No problem. Hey, Kat.
So. And also our fantastic producer Jansen is with us today as well.
Don't encourage him.
How you doing today, man?
Hey guys, I'm good.
Excellent. Thank you for being here again today. Thanks for rescheduling for us. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it.
I always love being here with you guys.
Nice.
Aw, at least somebody does.
That's good. See, Ray?
See,
somebody does.
Somebody loves us. Anyway, okay, so I know we're all pretty much caught up on the thing, but just in case there's somebody out there who isn't, during the week it was announced that Disney and Sony have broken up over Spider-Man, and it's like a hard
Mom and Dad,
Ross
they're
and
fighting.
Rachel kind of breakup.
Oh, please don't compare it to Ross and Rachel.
Sony's over there scratching Disney out of its name book and burning photographs, and Disney's over there with a quart of ice cream. Anyway, so there are some discrepancies.
I don't care. I don't care for your analogies. I really don't. Keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Anyway.
Go ahead.
So, okay.
Jeez.
Whatever. There's some discrepancies over what the argument is over, but the deal is over. However,
the deal's not over.
The deal, supposedly their deal had ended, and that they were fighting them, they weren't going to renew it. And
they're still in negotiations.
Exactly. And this is what has been rumored. It was they were trying to get fixed for today. The rumor is this, and then we'll get to our opinion, that there is a 7-film deal in the works that would keep Tom Holland in the MCU. it would bring Venom into the MCU and allow Disney Plus to do all of the live action Spider-Verse spinoffs.
So Sony's going to be doing some, or they're looking into spinoffs for Spider-Verse?
Yeah, and they've been talking about that for a while.
So maybe we finally get a live-action Miles Morales?
Yep.
Nice.
Exactly. Now, again, this is the rumor.
Yeah.
It is not verified.
No, it's not confirmed.
Yeah, they've also talked about Iceman and...
well, everything we're going to talk about today is mostly rumor, except for a few key facts. There's a few key facts, but that's the point. It's all still rumor and conjecture. We're not sitting in this room with these people listening to them go over their deals.
Yeah, they never ask us our opinion.
No, they don't. They don't.
They should.
I know. I didn't get a memo for the Christmas party last year either. I was very upset about that.
You didn't?
No. Did you get a memo?
I'm not talking about that. So anyway, that's the fact that we know. Just there was a break. The deal that previously existed is null and void, and they are and so the rumor is there's this new deal coming, but it's not confirmed. So so we're not telling you that it's a done deal. Please don't go talk about it.
It's not a done deal. Nobody knows what's going on right now.
Right. They could get into an argument about being on a break and then
this is part of the problem with the instantly accessible media to be able to report on everything and anything via Twitter or whatever. The moment they hear a piece of news, they put it out there because you got to be first. The problem with that is you don't have time to sit and let a situation develop to get the full story.
Right.
So you're left wanting more information, which is exactly where we are here today with this whole Disney Sony standoff.
Yeah, and it's very much a he said she said kind of a situation, and everything's changing. And
well, Marvel hasn't said anything about it as far as I know. Marvel hadn't said two bits about it. So Sony's the only one who's actually come forward and put anything out there. Am I correct on that? Is that
more or less? Again, everything still leaks. So basically, that's the problem.
Everything still leaks. So when this story leaked, who did we get the initial story from? There was
It was a public thing. It was both. They both kind of said it publicly, but they didn't say why or what it was over. And
right.
Else was leaked out that it's
from both sources. They said, "Hey, talks have broken down, and at the moment, we're in disagreement." Right. Okay. Yeah. And that's how we found out.
And that's how we all found out. And
gotcha.
The world
lost its collective mind.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, rightly so in a way, because you're very upset and you have these opinions about these two different companies that are, Sony licensed these rights to Spider-Man, back in early 2000s, 2001, 2004, something like that?
I think they technically bought them earlier.
But they didn't do anything with them until the early 2000s. But so Sony had purchased these rights from Marvel, right? Back when Marvel was standalone, way back when. Technically, they do have the rights to it. But then you look at it and you go, it's Marvel's character who is under the Disney umbrella, and Disney's wanting to keep everything homogenous and they want a piece of the pie. But also because, in my opinion, they know that it's great to be able to leverage this character in within the greater MCU. I mean, if anything that we've watched, as soon as Disney got involved with Sony to start doing this collaboration, the Spider-Man movies have been
superb,
top notch. And Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and I understand your view on this, and it's fine, we disagree on that, but Tom Holland is my Spider-Man, right? Like everybody's got everybody's got their Batman. Tom Holland is my Spider-Man. He is amazing. But so we see this whole thing developing, and you're right, everybody did kind of lose their minds. People are posting hate mail, and there's people throwing tantrums, and what was the last one? Hashtag boycott Sony?
Yeah, boycott Sony. Like,
we're going too far here, people.
Yeah. Well, okay, at least it's not as bad as Battlestar Galactica, like the original Battlestar Galactica. When it was canceled, there was a dude who
the original Battlestar, like back in the 70s. It was 80s.
Yeah,
it was 80s. It was late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. When it had one season, dude jumped off a bridge because it was canceled. That's too far.
There's more. Actually, well, it was just far enough, apparently.
Wow. I'm gonna let that one
too
go.
Soon?
No.
All right.
No.
It's
been almost 40 years.
The thing is, that guy had more going on in his life.
Oh, clearly.
Than Battlestar Galactica, and it's not Battlestar Galactica's fault that he made this choice.
Yeah, no. My point is that I think that's where the line too far is drawn. And for this one, I'm like, okay, boycotting seems a bit extreme. It doesn't seem like the right move. And I think a lot of this comes back to you had asked a question: is why is Spider-Man as popular?
We're not there yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. In a little while.
Fine.
We're still talking about this. That's another thing. We'll get there.
And I think but I think a lot of it sort of ties together. Is that Spider-Man?
It does. We'll get there.
All of these characters were designed over the years to interact, not just in the MCU, but in the comics.
They weren't. I don't think.
A lot of stories
I disagree. I don't think they were designed to interact. I think they ended up interacting because of
over the.
Right. Well, when you say, all right, I'm harping on a word. You say designed, and that to me means from the get-go they were like, okay, we're going to do this. But anyways, go ahead.
Well, I mean, issue 1 of Spider-Man has him going to try and join the Fantastic Four. The first actual, I think issue 2 of the Avengers.
Fair enough.
Has
like I said, I'm harping on a word.
I got you.
You go ahead.
Yeah. In fact, that's sort of the big twist here. Is the original Avengers had them reaching out to Spider-Man saying, "Hey, would you like to join?" And he's like, "Y'all are losers."
I think that's funny coming from Spider-Man. Given,
it really is.
Yeah, that is good.
Early modern Marvel was interesting in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
For stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's but largely because they weren't paying. You have to love early Ditko and Lee Spider-Man. Anyway, but yeah, so I think what we've seen is Spider-Man works very, very well in the broader MCU.
But he also works very well on his own. But the problem therein exists. He works very well on his own as long as Disney. I mean, I hate to say it, it's Disney, but it's also Marvel, right? Because it wasn't that Disney was involved; it was that Marvel was involved.
Yes,
and I get it, right? Disney owns Marvel, but Kevin, how do you say his last name? Feige, whatever his name is.
Feige.
Kevin F.
Yeah, Kevin F.
Kevin F.
Kevin F.
We'll just call him Kev. So Kev was involved. We're on a first name basis. It's fine. So Kev was involved.
Then why weren't you at the Christmas party?
It's probably because I'm an asshole. Mm-hmm. Just we'll throw that out there. It's fine. I acknowledge it. It's fine. So Kev was involved to the point where he was producing these movies.
Right.
And as a producer, his hand in these it made them better.
It absolutely did.
And taking Sony's the last. Okay, I'm going to say the first Spider-Man, even though it nowadays we look at it, it's dated. Right? The Sam Raimi trilogy. You look at the first one, you're like, okay, dated, but still a solid movie. Still a lot of good stuff to like about it. Number 2, getting a little too. You're falling into a little too much of the sequelitis. As I
thought that was a better one, but I get you. Continue.
I thought it was better. It had better acting. It was better fleshed out, but at the same time, it kind of fell a little bit into that bigger, bolder, better, faster, stronger kind of thing. And number 3 was just a train wreck. But then you go into the Garfield era, and it's kind of the same thing happened. Except
he had amazing hair.
He did, and he was better as a Spider-Man personality, as Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He was better Peter Parker. We've had this discussion several times. But my point being, the track record of all of these different movies just continues to deteriorate as Sony is working on them, and as the producers and the Sony conglomerate gets involved with meddling in the script. They are as far as I understand it, they are the reason there were 3 villains in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to have that many villains. You should have just kept it with either Spider-Man and Sandman.
I mean, technically, you could have argued there were 4, introducing the rest of the Sinister Six, because you had the dude with the hat, who they never really confirmed who that was supposed to be. There were several thoughts as to who it was. But yeah, it's like they were trying to build for something they just couldn't really deliver on. And they've had several they were trying to do a Black Cat, Silver Sable movie. They were trying to do and create this broader Sony Spider-Man franchise that they had control.
But they can't. No, they just can't do it.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. They can't do it. But so, all right, let me. You know what? I actually have numbers in here somewhere, and I really wish I would have highlighted this stuff. Okay, here we go. So.
Keep going. I was looking for how much money all the movies.
No, I've got it. So when Sam Raimi's the first Sam Raimi film was $821.7 million worldwide, and then after that, the second film was $783.7 million, and then the last one was actually the highest, 890. So it went back up, but regardless, even though it went back up, the production costs were higher and higher and higher on every single one. So Sony only netted back so much, and therefore considered them a failure as they were going forward, right? Because as what the rule is in movie making industry, you got to net like a third, at least.
Oh,
you got to net third back at least over what you spent to
Correct.
consider it a success.
Right.
Which
And
is
marketing
ridiculous.
yeah.
It's ridiculous because still, if you're talking about millions, you still made millions, and you're
Yeah.
going like, it's not a success.
Right.
And I get that. It sort of, not really, but whatever. I don't, I meagerly, I don't.
This is why you're not invited to the party.
This is why I'm not invited to the parties, the Christmas parties. And then, so then they did their next spot, right? The Andrew Garfield, the Amazing Spider-Man run, the two movies. Those only did $758 and 709.
709, yeah.
That's it. So their next two were down even further. Now, given at the time the first three, the Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, those were the highest grossing Spider-Man. That was their highest grossing film to date.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, and then aside from for Sony, and then the next one was Skyfall. Skyfall is their biggest movie up until
Really?
I believe so. Up until
I find that odd.
where was it? It's in here somewhere. I'm pretty sure it was Skyfall. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Anyways, don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
It was somewhere. It was a Bond movie. It was something. And
Right.
then
And this is all U.S. domestic.
this was all
Yeah.
it says worldwide, so
okay.
I'm guessing it's fully worldwide. But then they went with until Into the Spider-Verse came out, it was
Right.
their highest grossing
Yeah.
was the Raimi stuff, and then Skyfall, and then this
and then
one.
Venom. Venom did really well.
Venom didn't do better than Skyfall.
Oh, didn't? Okay. not
That
bad.
was the problem.
Gotcha.
So Skyfall was beating them out until they came out with Into the Spider-Verse. But so
And then Homecoming makes 880.
right, and here we have Marvel's involvement. Now I know everybody says Disney, but still we're talking about Marvel's involvement. Disney owns Marvel, but Marvel's the one involved. Disney's just there trying to cut the deals, and I think that's what a lot of people are upset about. I think there's people on both sides of this, right? There's people who are upset about Sony, and there's people who are upset about Marvel.
Right.
And I think a lot of it is they're upset about, they have personal opinions on the company, right? About looking at it as a conglomerate or a big corporate hand involved in something, right?
Yes.
That's my idea behind some of that. But I also think a lot of it is misinformation.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think a lot of it comes back to, then Spider-Man Far From Home makes over $1 billion.
Yeah, it was Skyfall. There it is.
Okay, cool.
Skyfall.
Yeah, and it makes over $1 billion. So Spider-Man's more profitable with Marvel. Because I think they understand the character better, and in many ways, like I said, the character does, I think, work better in a broader universe.
They do. They treat it with more respect in a way because it's their baby.
Yeah.
They get it.
No, absolutely.
I mean, I know it's Stan Lee's baby, but it's also like he was with Marvel. And despite whatever his daughter says, honestly, she has. I kind of feel bad about saying it. He's like, there's no point in you saying stuff like that because it's like, why would you do that? There's really no point. But I get maybe she's also still angry about Marvel. I don't know, but I don't know. I think whatever happened to if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all.
Dude, do you realize how much happier the world would be if we actually did that? Like, the news media would shut down. Like, we'd have to shut down.
I think that's probably why I'm so angry is I grew up that way. And as soon as I got to be an adult, I realized that nobody else was raised that way. And so now I'm just
or we just rejected it.
Just very bitter about the whole thing.
I don't disagree. Yeah. I grew up thinking that,
you have to disagree. This is a podcast. You have to be the contrarian.
Well, I think you're wrong.
Thank you.
And a jerk for believing that people should do right by people and talk about true things and not rumor and whatever.
Perfect.
Right.
That was highly convincing. I really believe
Hey, I sold it.
No, you didn't.
No. Anyway, but you're right. I think there is a lot of everyone wants to have they want to have a bad guy in a situation. We want to boil everything down, and this is all of life. Good guy, bad guy. And that is not how the world actually works.
No, it's not.
Things are far more complicated.
Well, and the gray area is much wider than the black and the white.
Yeah, and if you don't know everything, and the problem is we don't know everything about this.
So here,
we don't even know what the deal was. The original deal.
Let's talk about what we do know.
Okay.
All right. So what we do know. So the initial deal between, and it's funny that you say we don't because I do have some inside little pieces on this. But the initial, the initial deal, right?
Yeah.
Sony would allow Marvel's creative team to integrate Spider-Man into its cinematic universe and would put up 100% of the production costs. So Sony is paying for 100% of production.
Okay.
So, in exchange, Disney would get a 5% of first dollar gross. So 5% of ticket sales.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
5% of ticket sales for the first day of release.
Right.
That's what Disney, a.k.a. Marvel, took from this.
Right.
I mean, that's a pittance.
Oh, it really is.
But given, right?
Right.
Sony put up 100% of the production funds.
Right. So there's no overhead.
So there's no overhead. So it's kind of this nice balance, right? They get to be involved in the movie. They get to do the movie and make it better, and they get a little bit for what they get to do. And thank you very much. But also, we finance this whole thing, so we're going to take all the rest of it.
Which
it's fair. It's fair. So.
And I think Marvel also got some of the merchandising as well. I think that was...
hold on. Oh, yeah, and retain the merchandising rights for the character. You're right.
I think that's...
Sony would reap the rest of the box office haul.
Right. I think that's where Sony...
They gave up a little bit more. They're like, you know what, you guys can have the merchandise. Mm-hmm. We're taking all the we're taking the production. The profits from the movie itself, since we finance the whole thing. So according to Deadline, and also Nerdist and comicbook.com and all these other websites, according to all these websites, they're saying that the new deal had Disney coming to Sony saying, look, we want to do a 50-50 split for production costs.
Right.
Therefore, everybody's paying their share.
Yeah.
And then we want to split the movie profits 50-50. Now, I don't know what they said about merchandising rights after that. I really don't have I don't have much into that. But I do know that what they were asking for was, if you pay half and we pay half, you get your half and we get our half.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that's not fair.
Right. And I think I would agree with you on that. And I would think it would be even better to say, hey, look, we'll just do everything 50-50.
Yeah.
Including merchandising. Because I think
now, and like I said,
is a huge aspect of that.
And I don't know anything about whether or not that's on the table, but that's fine too. I agree with that.
Right.
But we can't discuss that because we don't know that fact.
Right. We don't know what the
do know that the 50-50, which people were blowing it out of proportion. Everybody was saying that, they want 50-50 on the profits. And it's just like, well, yeah, but they also said that we'd do 50-50 on the production costs too.
Right.
Like, we're going to invest in this picture as much as you are.
Yeah.
So why would we not get the same out of it?
And there's some debate about producer credits, and again, everything's rumors. So what we do know is minimal. Like you said, we can't really speak to it. But my ultimate opinion is, I do think a deal will be struck.
Oh, a deal will definitely be struck.
Whether it's what's out and what's rumored to be out now, I don't know.
So then,
I think there will be one.
What somebody posted something somewhere where they were like, Sony said. I loved it too. They were like, Sony outright denied didn't even ponder the offer. They just said no.
Yeah, we don't. I think the quote was, "We don't need Marvel anymore."
And that's what somebody said. I don't know if that's a true quote or not. I think it's funny, but
that's actually kind of why I was sort of avoiding it, because it just felt.
It seems like it's like somebody came up with it and put it out. The honest truth is, Sony wants Kev to remain in production. They want him to remain as a producer on these films going forward, because he's the whole reason they've made so many good films with Spider-Man. Or at least that's how Sony feels.
Right.
And I'm not going to deny them that, because honestly, the man's track record is
really solid.
Frankly amazing.
Yeah.
But he can't at the moment apparently be involved. And as far as Disney says, now I don't know what Marvel says, I have no idea, but apparently the rumor is that he's not going to be able to be involved because of the recent acquisition of Fox by Disney and his now involvement with the X-Men side.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which I'm frankly very interested to see, because I hope somebody finally gives the X-Men a great chance. Hugh Jackman, still forever fantastic. It's still fantastic Wolverine.
You still go to bed at night holding
the Hugh Jackman doll? Yes. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Now, is it a doll, or is it like those full body pillows?
No, it's just a small doll. No, it's a tiny. No, it's a small doll. It's yeah. I don't go overboard. I keep it weird. So
I got you. Well, but the pillows are good for your hips and your back.
You should stop.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I'm just saying. I mean, I have. Well, never mind.
I don't want to know what pillows you're using. Anywho.
Well, Ray's got 3.
So, he's got a he's got a reason for that.
Right. The Jansen Ray doll.
But no, so he's not. We weren't supposed to tell him about that. You know that, right?
Did Jansen not know?
No, he didn't know.
Okay, sorry.
And he looks still in the dark too. So let's just
we just won't mention that.
Don't worry about Ray's pillow.
Fine.
Ray has different pillows with different photos of different people on it. You're fine. Don't worry about it. You're okay.
I didn't want to hear that.
You want a beer now?
He does now.
So, All right. So anyway, so Sony basically the rumor is Sony turned it down. Well, not the rumor. Sony came out and said
Yeah. They turned down the
they turned it down because Kev isn't going to be involved.
right.
Or at the moment he was not allowed to be involved.
Yeah.
Per Disney. So
Yeah.
and
I don't know. I mean that's
I don't know either.
that because here's the thing. Again, you can see both sides of this. Like if you're Sony and you're like Kevin Feige's involvement.
Not if you're Sony. If you're a rational human being,
Right.
you can see both sides of this.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to be Sony to see
No.
it.
What I'm saying, if you can see both sides. Like a Sony, if you're Sony, you can say, "Hey, I really want Kevin Feige to be involved because of look at his track record." But
Yeah.
if you're Marvel, you're also like, "Yeah, but look at his track record. We just spent all this money
Doing all this other
all
stuff.
this other stuff.
Yeah.
we kind of need him to focus on
This other stuff.
giant pile.
Yeah.
this is set up for success already.
Ray, shut up, Ray. Shut up. Keep talking. Sorry, he was interrupting you. I
Yeah.
apologize.
That's okay. What is he saying? Because I can't, for whatever reason, mine's not pulling up. What's he saying?
I was joking, but thanks for killing that.
No.
Good job. Bravo. You know what?
Yeah, actually, can I have one?
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me go grab another.
All right then.
Keep talking.
All right. Well, we seem to have turned to the alcohol really quickly this episode.
Look.
Which
Here's the reason. I did I didn't get to do all of mine, but I did as much yard work as I possibly could before I had to scramble into the shower and get here. So normally when I get done with yard work, when I get done with the yard work there, I like to have a couple of beers. Beers, eh? Sorry. So yeah, that's how this goes. So yeah, it was beer time. That's why I brought beer.
Beer 30.
Beer 30.
Which reminds me, Titan Comics. I don't know if you can necessarily see it. I don't know what it's one way or the other above us. I think it says anyway. But Titan Comics is
up here.
sponsoring us. Yeah,
It's up here. Titan Comics.
Yeah.
Thank you, Titan Comics.
Thank you, Titan Comics. Also, they have a sale. In fact,
They have a sale.
Yes, they have a sale coming up.
What are they selling?
Well, that's why I took this picture. Come on.
Really? You're doing
Yeah.
pictures now? This is what we're doing? Nobody can see this, by the way.
Well, it's so I can read it. Because there were it was actually really interesting things. And why is it not pulling up?
This is really great. I love how you kill the momentum.
We actually got a phone call.
We got a phone call. Okay. Hello. Oh, I can't hear anybody. Yeah. Is there a phone call? What's going on? Oh, there it is. Hello.
Hello?
I leave you guys for half the show.
Is this Raymond Perez on the phone currently?
You know, I just got done talking to Sony and Disney, trying to calm stuff down.
Really? I didn't know you were on their mailer.
Well, he was at the party
And-
last
and-
year.
You two
And Jason's
bastards.
already starting to drink.
Both of you bastards.
Sean, that's normal.
Look,
bud.
here's
I
the
get
deal.
it. All I know is, look. Apparently, I cannot die for just a couple of days without having to worry about you guys.
I don't think that's a accurate statement, but you're on drugs, so I'll give it to you.
Mm-hmm. I think we're
Yeah,
doing
fair,
fine.
fair.
Doug likes it.
Yeah, Doug
Yeah,
thinks
I-
we're doing
I
great
think I only
commentary.
died
Hey,
like
Doug,
one
how's
day.
it going?
I died
Thanks,
one
man.
day and I came back.
You know, let me tell you what, Ray. We do miss you.
Sort of.
A little. Like a little.
Jason doesn't.
It's a bit.
No. Mm-mm.
All
I'm
right.
actually completing sentences and everything.
Yeah, no, I've been hearing the sentences, man. They're not good ones, but yeah, I'll give that to you. You've been completing them.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. By the way, Titan Comics Labor Day has a sidewalk sale. $4 Funko Pop discount statues. There's going to be 25-cent comics. They're going to price some other things to sale. And it's only going to be from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. that Monday. So Labor Day, Titan Comics, $4 Funko Pop.
So it's only going to be for the whole day.
Yeah, just for the whole day.
Sorry. Couldn't resist that. I couldn't resist
Jason's
that
sure
one.
to spend about $8 there.
Whoa. We don't
It's
roll
a
that high.
little out of his price
That's
range,
a little out of
sir.
the price range, man. So, anyway, how you doing?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Because we were just killing time.
Well, you know, I'm trying out for Spider-Man. Tom gave me his blessings, so I'm sitting here doing that.
I thought-
in
wait.
case Sony proceeds without Marvel.
I thought you were trying out for the Boulder in the remake of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
No. Jason took that role from me, so I can't do that anymore.
Hey.
Thanks a lot, Scooby.
I'm
I
in training.
can't believe you would steal that from him.
Look, It's about the finished product. That's what matters most. I'm in training, thank you, sir.
Anyways.
Yeah, Jason said he's got the boulder roll. He's not as brown as I am.
The boulder roll, eh?
He's gonna
Yeah,
take it.
Mm-hmm.
the full-on boulder roll. Nice job, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's
Good.
dangerous
Yeah, you like
work.
that one?
It is dangerous.
If you don't do it right, you can really hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Like Ray has.
Well, Jason can get bendy.
I'm exceptionally bendy.
I don't want to know.
But speaking of pains in the ass, so Ray,
Huh.
how you feeling?
Like you're a pain in my ass. Not, I can't even say that.
Uh-huh.
Nah.
Gentlemen, I've been hearing you guys go back and forth on Spider-Man, and it's come to my conclusion that no one's talking about the events that we're looking at right now, which is I don't know if I could care less or not. Sean, that's for you.
I got it. Thanks.
Okay, good. You're welcome. About whether or not Sony retained rights back to Spider-Man anyway, just because, well, quite frankly, the last two Spider-Man movies that we've got, while are awesome and I love, are a lot more MCU-driven than what I've seen Spider-Man-driven. So with them getting rights back does not necessarily offend me. I think like it would offend most people.
Wait, who getting rights back? You're playing the pronoun game.
Sony. Well, Sony. So Sony grabbing the rights back to Spider-Man doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing.
Well, I don't think Sony
so
ever
far-
lost the rights to Spider-Man. That's the point.
Well, well, I mean, just obtaining and controlling them and bringing them back into Sonyverse there.
I think what he's saying is Spider-Man leaving the official MCU and going back to his own sort of contained Spider-Verse.
Without Disney, a.k.a. Marvel involvement. No, that would I would be very disappointed by that.
And again,
Personally, I would be disappointed by that. So,
well,
I would be saddened that we couldn't have some more stories in the MCU, but I don't think missing out on Iron Man Jr. Is necessarily a bad thing.
no, I honestly think that look, Sony's track record is not good. Sony's track record with Spider-Man is not very good.
I will say this. I've liked all the movies that they've put out. You're right. I do think the MCU ones are better. But to Ray's point, they were all very much an MCU-driven film versus a Spider-Man film.
But that's because Sony asked. Part of the deal was Sony got to use Nick Fury and Iron Man in their movie. Sony requested that. That was at Sony's behest. That has nothing to do with whether or not Marvel was involved. I think Marvel would have been just fine putting those two films out, sans Tony Stark or sans Nick Fury, but that's what Sony requested. So,
fair enough.
Honestly, I don't understand why. I mean, I don't want people to vilify Disney or Marvel when there's no villain here. Yeah. It's kind of both. It's just that everybody's in negotiations, and that's the whole point.
I don't think anyone should be vilifying either one of the parties. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business decision, and when you have business decisions, both companies are vying to do what's best for them.
Right.
Regardless of what you may think as a fan.
It's just that it's just that Sony's track record for some of these things is not the best. And again, I'm not saying we should vilify anybody. It's just what I've seen. I mean, for instance, and I'm going to bring up the video games thing here, which we'll probably transition to here in a moment anyways.
Yeah, absolutely.
But given, Sony has been a stalwart holdout for a lot of different cross plays and cross saves and any type of integration for other games into different universes, so to speak. Going on the last however many years that this cross-save, cross-play thing has been a thing, and both the PC world and, which, I mean, I guess it's Microsoft, it's PC, but they're all different developers, right?
No, I get you.
Epic, right? So there was the biggest thing was Fortnite, right? An example. So Fortnite was saying they were going to start introducing cross-play, and both Microsoft for Xbox and Epic for PC said, yeah, let's do it. And Sony said, no, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
This is our platform. We want to keep our games separate from you. No, thank you. And it only hurts the players. It only hurts the players because if you think about it, if you get a broader spectrum of people who are able to use all these different platforms together to play, how is that not going to bolster this video game and continue the success of stuff?
Yeah, but legitimately though, what is the argument here? Look,
my argument here is Hold on.
All
right,
hold on. Shut up.
Now, don't tell me to shut up. You're not even here.
Is it fun to have Spider-Man in the MCU? Absolutely. Is it necessary for either or party to do it? I mean, Spider-Man existed in the movie world prior to this. He's going to be in there after that. Is the Spider-Man movies, I've been waiting to see a Spider-Man movie. And even Kevin Feige, or as Jason likes to call him, Kevin F.
I said Kev. I was just calling him Kev.
We're calling him Kev because we don't know if it's Feige or Feige or Feige.
Even with that, though, I mean, even he had said this third one needs to be set up so that there is no real MCU involvement. It's a Peter Parker story.
Yeah, sure. I got no problems with that
in the MCU.
No, but I've got no problems with that. I don't understand why. I guess the thing that everybody's lamenting, right, is the possible loss of Spider-Man from the MCU.
Right.
Now, we're not talking about the immediate next movie being has to have other players in it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't think that that's part of the debate. I don't think that's part of the problem. Again, Sony requested that they have these two characters involved in those previous movies. So it was Sony who wanted it to be together. Now, if Kev is saying, yeah, man, let's get it more in just a plain old Spider-Man kind of thing, great. But you could still have producers from Marvel involved. And especially try to strike up a deal that's going to be, the next couple of years where you keep him involved in the MCU. If they don't strike up a deal and they effectively say Sony's going to retain the rights completely and Marvel's not going to have any hand, or Disney is not going to have any hand in our stuff going forward, that also means that Marvel doesn't get to utilize Spider-Man whenever we see another Avengers movie or whenever we see another cool crossover that involves Spider-Man with somebody. Like, what was, I don't know. Just, I think it would be good for both companies to get together and kind of work together versus some other company just going, you know what, we understand that they had a lot of involvement and there's goodwill that we were working on, but we don't want to do that anymore. Like, we don't want to work together anymore. I don't understand why people can't work together. Maybe that's it. Can't we all just get along?
No, I think we probably can't.
Not since about 1992.
Sons of bitches.
Yep. Mr. Rogers was wrong.
No, actually, he was not. Mr. Rogers was very right. Our leaders were wrong.
Maybe the problem is we took Mr. Rogers for granted.
Oh, he was never taken for granted. People just decided not to listen to him. That's part of the problem. Yep. Can't wait for the Tom Hanks movie, though, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that looks amazing.
Can't wait for that. That's going to be fantastic.
It really does. Now,
look, at the end of the day, I think we need to see Mr. Rogers in the Spider-Man outfit.
I don't want to see that.
I kind of do now.
Ray, did you have any other points to make? Because you're totally derailing this entire conversation.
Well, actually, there's sort of a nice little...
We had more stuff to talk about, but here we are with him calling in and just ruining the entire show.
Hey, that's what Daddy do.
Anyway, but while we're talking about people mercilessly tearing each other apart and making villains, we do have... there was a big release on Mortal Kombat 11 this week.
Nice segue.
Thank you.
Nice segue.
Well, okay, so Sean, I'm going to let you guys go because I'm going to go back to dying. But have fun with Jason trying to explain video games to you guys.
Okay, will do. Don't worry, I'll keep him on track.
All right, beat him thoroughly, man. See you guys.
Yep.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
That was the disembodied voice of Raymond Perez. Everyone
who we are all grateful to leaving now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ray, for your
thank you for completely derailing a very productive conversation we were having here.
Whatever
we almost fixed everything, by the way. Anyway, so Mortal Kombat 11.
Look, full summary of things, right? It'd be nice for the two companies to come to an agreement and work together. They're still in negotiation. Let's see what they come up with.
Yeah, let's share. Let's make some money.
Let's see what they come up with. If ultimately they decide not to work together, I'm going to be bummed. Is it the end of the world? No. But we don't need to lose our S just because they aren't willing to work together.
Exactly. But what we should lose our S over is the inclusion of the Terminator in Mortal Kombat 11.
Should we?
Yes, we should.
That
was awesome. Okay, so for those who may only passingly know, so they released Shang Tsung, Nightwolf, and the Screechy Lady.
This is for Mortal Kombat 11?
Mortal Kombat 11.
Okay,
Yes.
so Mortal Kombat, the video game franchise that has been saying, finish you.
Since 1992.
1992. Perfect. All
Yeah.
right, with all the gory, grotesque, fantastic blood that has always been
Exactly.
involved. The over-the-top.
The over-the-top stuff.
I love it.
And they even, if you're a fan of Because Science, they actually did a Because Science Mortal Kombat that they sponsored. It was amazing. They made weapons out of blood. Well, not real blood, but they made weapons out of ice blood. And
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that one. Yeah, I remember
heating
that.
the chain to see if you can tear somebody in half with
Yeah,
it. All
yeah.
kinds of fun stuff. So if you're a fan of that, watch that.
They
anyway,
went through the physics of it
the
all.
physics of it all, yeah.
That's good.
Anyway, so so you had the new pack coming out. They released Shang Tsung, again, Screechy Lady, Sindel. That's her name.
Sindel. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the chick with the fans?
No, that's Katana.
Oh, that's right. I got you. I got you. Sorry.
And Nightwolf, we all knew they were coming,
Mm-hmm.
and Todd McFarlane had dropped that he let it go a while ago that Spawn was coming.
And Spawn has been involved in prior
Right.
Mortal Kombats, as
Yeah.
well as we had Predator. We also had
Yeah,
Darth Vader,
and the
and we
Alien.
had Alien in there as well.
Xenomorph, yeah.
The Xenomorph, yeah.
which was cool. So anyway,
Yeah.
So we all knew that was coming, but then the trailers released, and all of a sudden, boom, we get the Terminator and Joker
Nice. Now,
in there.
which Terminator is this? Are we looking at Mr. Schwarzenegger himself?
Yes,
Really?
it is. Yeah, no, it is clearly Arnold Schwarzenegger. They have part of his skin,
So you can see the metal.
Yeah, you can see the
Yeah.
metal. You can see the one red eye, and he's got the pistol
Sawed-off-
gripped.
The sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah, the pistol grip from the second one.
Gotcha.
And he's looking. He kind of looks like he looks like he was the one from the last one, right? Not this new one that's coming out, where he's a little bit older.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he looks younger, obviously.
Right.
I gotcha. You could just say that.
Okay, whatever. But it looked like he's the one from Genesis, is sort of where they're more pulling from, with a little bit of that T2 feel to it.
I would have just said if he's got the shotgun, go to T2 because
Yeah.
that's where he had that sawed off.
But he distinctly looks older than T2. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Anyway, so yeah, that was the big thing that happened with Mortal Kombat. They're
Yeah.
releasing new characters, all kinds of fun. Joker looks a little funny.
I had no idea you were this into Mortal Kombat.
I am. Oh, I love Mortal Kombat. I don't get a chance to play a lot of video games at all.
Yeah.
But I love Mortal Kombat. Always have.
Yeah. Okay.
I love the
That's-
characters.
It's just surprising. It's just it's fascinating. So. Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, I'm a Galga fan, but I'm just saying Mortal Kombat's my
Yeah. No.
jam.
Let's continue with your train of thought. So the Joker. What's the Joker look like?
You know what? That's where it's weird. It looks like he's sort of a cleaned up version of the Dark Knight.
Heath Ledger idea.
Yeah, the Heath
Okay.
Ledger. Yeah, so imagine Heath Ledger a little bit more.
Wait, so
clean.
they didn't pull him from the comics or anything like that?
No.
They went with an actual movie.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't even look like
He's
that.
a cross.
He's a cross,
Okay.
and like his hair is a little bit more a lot more coiffed. Coiffed, yeah.
Uh-huh, okay.
He doesn't have a tie, like it's a collarless button-up shirt.
Hmm.
He has this sort of weird golden cane hammer thing. Yeah, he looks odd. I mean, he's fine as is, but I mean, he just looks a little odd. That's all.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like their last the one they came out with, Injustice. Both versions I thought were great, but that's not the one they went with this time.
They didn't go with the other one. Yeah. Now their Injustice stuff, I've been super. I
Yeah,
love.
real
I love the
impressive.
Injustice stuff. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very amazing.
I love Hellboy's inclusion as well as the Turtles, but I'm a huge Hellboy fan.
I know.
For anyone, if you haven't, go look up the ending for the Hellboy for the Injustice. They actually tie Hellboy into that whole Injustice thing into his actual mythos. It's brilliant.
Well, for the non-Hellboy fans out there, apparently the new MK11's got some good downloadable. Well, and are they downloadable characters or are they going to be included on automatically?
I think they're the downloadable characters.
So you got to pay for them
Yeah.
to get them in. Fair enough. But that's cool. That's nice that they got them going on. So
Yeah.
right on. Okay.
Also, so D23 is going on right now. They were a lot of people said they were hoping for that Spider-Man thing to be fixed in time to announce it at D23. But the big things that came out are they've confirmed the Moon Knight series.
And that's going to be on Disney Plus.
On Disney Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, as well as She-Hulk and Ms. Marvel.
Ah.
Ms. Marvel is going to be the Kamala Khan version, where she's a Pakistani American. She can grow her limbs.
Interesting.
She's sort
so
of
like Dalsum.
Yeah, well, but different.
But different.
Yeah,
I just said.
I know.
I threw an example out there. We were
Well,
just talking about video games. I threw it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate that actually. A lot of layers to that one. But they also got a chance to release the Mandalorian trailer.
Now I saw that this morning.
Yes.
Because I don't know, I just didn't pick up on it yesterday, but that looked amazing.
Yes, I have been wondering how, was it going to be, is it going to be good? This is looking really good.
For those of you who haven't seen it, it looks just like the current Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
I mean, the camera, the crispness, it all the filter,
Very Rogue One.
whatever they're using. Yeah, it looks. Thank you, perfect. Rogue One is a great comparison to the aesthetic of the settings, or the setting of the movie. And I don't know who's playing him though, and I don't know if we're talking about Boba Fett here,
no,
or if we're just talking about a plain random Mandalorian. But he's still a bounty hunter.
Yeah,
and he's still going around being a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And there's
it's just hijinks in the Star Wars universe.
I'm actually, this is probably something I'm been the most excited for recently.
Yeah.
Given that I can't really wait to see how a Star Wars series is going to play out.
Yeah.
Have they ever done? They've never done. Star Wars has never been
live action
series.
Right.
I mean, we've had the animated,
which is also
the
coming back.
Troopers and everybody else. Like we've had two or three different animations.
Yeah, we've had several.
Genndy Tartakovsky did the Clone Wars stuff.
Yeah, well, he did the short.
Yeah,
Clone
he did the
Wars,
short one, and then he did the full. The whole full, which is three seasons.
Four, actually, I think it was 4 seasons. The fourth one was on Netflix.
Gotcha.
Or maybe it was the fifth one that was on Netflix. But they're doing another season of
they're
Clone
doing
Wars.
another one. Interesting.
And that's also going to be on D+.
Gotcha. And Genndy Tartakovsky, or if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, I might be a little off, but he was the Samurai Jack animator and creator. For those of you,
Samurai Jack, and he's got a new one coming out called Primal that looks amazing.
Yeah.
Don't even be like that. Dude, don't even be like, Primal looks amazing.
I have never seen previews one way. Jansen, what can you tell me more about it from an unbiased?
I don't know. It doesn't really look all that good to me. Well, it's like that's the caveman one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude looks like he's probably, traditional caveman. There's dinosaurs running around.
Well, but you have a big affinity for that.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's touching you in a special place. Touching you in a special way.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now I'm really missing that duck. Yeah. Anyway, so that's all coming out. They announced that. They talked a little bit more about the fact that we're going to get Loki and WandaVision, all stuff that we've...
They just elaborated more about it. Actually, they didn't say much more about it. They just reiterated the fact that it's coming.
Exactly. Yeah.
When does... I'm in the dark here. Is Disney Plus already live?
No, but it's coming out this
That's what
year.
I thought. It's coming out this year, but it's not streaming yet. But Mandalorian, what was the release date on that? It was November.
It's November, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, this is coming up pretty quick.
No,
they did announce Lizzie McGuire was coming back for D+. I know you're excited for that.
Thrilled.
I think there's a couple other things. Yeah, it's a grown Lizzie McGuire, so you get to see old Hillary Duff.
I don't
with
care.
Okay.
I really don't care. I'd rather not. That's fine. I mean, good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. But I don't care. It's not my thing.
It's bad when Disney's having to pull up their old.
No, not necessarily, because
you had Boy Meets World where they did Girl Meets World. They had to pull up all the old characters.
But that's not.
That's recycling an idea.
That's not them though. That's the '80s nostalgia culture right now. That's why you had Fuller House come back.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Stranger Things exists.
Right.
It's this nostalgia for, remember the shows we grew up with.
Well, but you could have done Stranger Things in current day, and it would have been fine.
It works so much better.
It does. I'm not saying
80s,
it doesn't.
Which, I think we're on the last episode of this last season that we've been watching. I will say this: I'm not going to spoil anything. We weren't planning on talking about this, but I wanted to say this.
Go for it.
This particular season, this third season of Stranger Things, has been, to me, a largely pandering series, or not series, but season, a season of pandering to 80s nostalgia.
Because the scene in season 2 where they have the bucket, he's like, it's finger licking good. That was a single product placement. That was a moment that pandered to it. I'm talking about episodes after multiple episodes and full plots Okay.
that I'm like, or subplots, I should say,
Yeah.
where I'm like, okay, yeah, that's like full on 80s. Like you're the whole thing. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Because I'm not. That's not what we're talking about today.
Right.
But anyways, still good season. I'm enjoying it. We're on the last episode, or last 2 episodes. We'll see it here.
Really
in a
haven't seen this season, but
minute. You haven't?
no, actually, we canceled Netflix for a while.
Oh wow. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much.
I thought you'd seen. Well, you've seen some of it though, haven't
Yeah,
you? Okay, fair enough.
No,
fair enough.
yeah,
Well,
I'm
then good. I'm glad I didn't spoil anything.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Not a
Not
problem.
that I care, but whatever.
Jesus, I try to do something nice. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So,
mhm.
Mortal Kombat. Is there anything?
Yeah.
What else are we doing? Is there anything else? We're coming up on our mark here real soon.
Yeah, we are. The guys from Apex Legends. I know this was more your deal.
Oh no, not Apex Legends. All right, so yeah, kind of a big blow actually from BioWare is, and this is sad because if you really enjoy Anthem. I'm very sorry,
That's what it
but
was.
you probably know about this, but their lead producer, Ben Irving, who kind of kept the game alive and got it to where it was, which isn't... It's not saying much, but if you've read the entire article leading up to when it went live, you would know that this man pulled out all the stops with the team to get it to where it was and make it playable. I mean, frankly, just flat out playable because it was going through... iteration changes of what are we going to be all the way up until 6 months before release date, which in a video game it's unheard of.
Yeah.
So yeah, he left on the 15th, and I think 3 days before or after, forgive me, I don't remember the date, but 3 days before or after Ben Irving left, we had Fernando Mello leave from Dragon Age. And they've been, I mean, we all know Dragon Age has been award-winning, kind of game. It's been a massive game, but this is kind of frightening for BioWare. I know that they've had a lot of fallout from their people in working for them. Again, if you haven't read the Why Anthem Failed long
But that was really interesting. It
was very interesting.
Yeah,
That article by
article.
Jason Schreier. I have to always give him. It's like 15, 20 pages something. It was
not
a book.
small. Yeah.
He should have given it to Audible, and they should have produced it for him, and you could have sit down and listened to it. But they have a really good insight into how BioWare is a little. I don't want to say cringy, but a lot of people say cringe. Yeah, they don't treat their people the best. They focus on a lot of deadlines, and the rumor is they focus on deadlines and push their people to the limits. So apparently these 2 lead producers have left on these 2 major franchises. Well, one major franchise,
Right.
one they were hoping
it
was
would be
going
a
to be
major
a major
franchise.
franchise.
Just for that's Apex Legends running in the background, not Anthem. That's my bad.
Oh, good for you,
I
Jason.
apologize.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's totally the wrong game.
Yeah.
Apex Legends is doing fine, by the
Yeah,
way.
it's doing great.
It's
so
doing
hey,
great.
good for you, Apex
Yeah.
Legends.
Yeah,
Glad
so-
we could help.
Whatever. But yeah, no,
Screw
the
you,
other
Anthem.
2, the
Yeah,
Anthem
but that's-
and
that's-
Dragon Age. So
When you have people that high up leaving so close to one another, that is indicative of a bigger problem.
it is indicative of it. And that's part of that Jason Schreier's article points
Right.
that out. And I strongly encourage anybody to go read that because it's amazing. Yeah. It's got a lot of insight into the company itself. And it's sad, too, because that's the thing. I mean, Mass Effect and Dragon Age, those 2 games were phenomenal. And
No,
so
they were.
it's-
No, they
it's
absolutely
very
were.
disappointing that that Dragon Age is losing its lead producer and that Anthem is losing what I think was one of their main hopes for continuing to bolster that series and make it something one day. Because everybody who was involved in the project continued to say, we want this to be good.
Yeah.
But I just think that the leads, the upper brass or whatever you want to call them, the corporates of BioWare, they're kind of losing faith in it themselves, and I think that's probably driving away some of these guys who are trying to.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but I mean, when you don't make money straight out the gate, they're going to look. They're going to look to who do I blame? Who do I blame?
Right.
You know,
And I think
that's a sad piece of corporate knowledge.
Right, and I think that's
Or
also
corporate fact, I should say. Not
Yeah, and I also think there is a point where we have to remember that all art, whether regardless of what it is, particularly when it's this big and this expensive, it's complicated. Again, it's like the Sony thing, right?
Super complicated.
You have there's so many moving parts, and if things don't always work out, you have stresses, you have other pressures, and that pressure sometimes makes really cool things like diamonds, and sometimes it creates a volcanic eruption in some small island nation is
and
wiped
it
out.
loses half their population.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
So I mean, you get both. Sometimes you just have to it is what it is. There's
Well,
no bad guys. There's just complicated situations that need solutions. For example, I haven't been watching the clock.
Speaking of, I was going to say, speaking
Yeah,
of
how much
solutions,
time do we
and
have
our
left?
accept-
Yeah.
None. We're
Yeah.
out. We're done. That's it. So,
We're out of time.
oh, we got 3 minutes.
We got 3 minutes.
I started my clock on the wrong spot then.
That's fine. So you want to talk about something for 2.5 minutes?
I think we've actually exhausted all of our content for once.
Really?
I think so.
Are we this dependent on Raymond being an asshole?
No. There's just it was him derailing the conversation
Right.
of Spider-Man that cost
Yeah.
us some extra time.
Well, we do. I mean, we actually talked about a lot today.
We did talk about.
Yeah, we talked about a lot.
There's
Yeah,
a whole bunch
way
we
more
talked
than we
about.
usually do.
The Spider-Man thing was a good 45 minutes.
It was.
But these last 15, we could have gone on for another 10 or 15 minutes on Spider-Man
Probably.
had Ray not called in.
And ruined everything? Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like he always does.
Pretty much.
Anyway. Well, okay. So we'll just go ahead and end early. There's no reason to be.
No, it's not a problem.
Yeah. So, okay. Real quick. Titan Comics on Labor Day. Bunch of cool stuff. Go see them. We have to thank Jeremy for
Yes.
sponsoring this episode.
Thank you, Jeremy.
As well.
Appreciate it.
Jansen, we appreciate you. And DallasOnAir.com.
Yep.
And
I appreciate you more.
And guys, let's share this episode or previous episodes that you like better, whatever. Like, share, subscribe, do what you gotta do. Vagabondnerds.com is our website if you want to yell at Raymond for not being here digitally. Vagabondnerds@gmail.com.
Or you can also make suggestions, maybe some topics you want to hear us
Yeah.
talk about. If there's anything you guys are looking for and you want to hear us discuss it.
You guys are gonna do the one I suggested last show, right?
What was the one last
It
show?
was like a recap of the. Help me out.
I know.
The
you said
CW's.
that's
Crisis.
Right, that's
The
right.
Crisis.
The
Crisis
recap,
recap.
leading up to that. We do
Yeah,
need to do
yeah,
that.
we
need
will.
to do
Yeah,
that.
we'll do that. And when Raymond's back
Ray,
next time,
put that on
Yeah.
the show list if you would please.
yeah, and we will talk about the second half of the boys. Next episode.
Next episode. Let's do the second half of the
Yeah,
boys.
when we want to have all three because there's a lot going on there. Why is Raymond calling?
Because he's calling you directly. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
We're shutting down. You'll call him in a minute.
I'll call you, Ray. I'll call you in a minute.
There you go. There you go.
So anyway, thank you, Jeremy. Again, guys, go visit Jeremy on Labor Day. Buy some stuff. We appreciate every single one of you except for Raymond. And we'll talk to y'all later.
Be excellent to each other.
Yes.